Alright, so we are checking out Black Red Hollow One. This is the deck that has been performing pretty well um, consistently for a little while, but just of late it's been placing multiple places in multiple SCGs. So we're going to go ahead and test out the deck and just see how it fares right now in a friendly league. So starting out, we have a pretty decent hand. All right, we're gonna keep this for sure. Phaseless looting on turn one can be a lot better if we have a way to get hollowing out with either cycling or something else, but we can turn one Faithless Looting just to feed our graveyard, and a Goblin Lore probably to guarantee that we'll get that turn to Hollow One. Actually, there is some argument to actually holding up for next turn just in case we get hit by duress or something. So actually, let's do that. Hollow One is the whole agenda. We want to get that down no later than turn two, and start pressuring our opponent. We've also seen a shift, I think, in the metagame where we're actually starting to get a little more away from lightning bolts and a little more. I've seen more dismember, things like that. All right, so I'm glad I held on. This is either green-white company, which I doubt, or it's because it tells me green-white, but I'm thinking it's probably either Naya, like land destruction, or it's just green-red land destruction. But regardless, we want to slow the deck down. They're pretty reliant on having access to that stuff. We are going to Goblin Lore. So, right, 1, 2, 6. We could Burning Inquiry and potentially get both of these down, depending on what we get. We could also lose both those cards. So Burning Inquiry is kind of a bigger risk. But you know what? Let's do it, because this will give us 3 more cards in the graveyard plus this. 3, 4. Sacking this 5, 6. So that's a Gurmag Angler. All right, let's see what happens. All right, we didn't. Oh, we got everything we wanted. All right, we're gonna take some damage, and my opponent is on Green Devotion, and we got a Bloodghast in the graveyard. This is this 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we don't get to play Gurmag Angler this turn by keeping the Bloodghast, but I'm okay with that. All right, opponent's just gonna ramp. Okay. Opponent chooses green, so yeah, we don't have to worry about like path. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and Goblin. Well, I'd rather just make sure I get that Gurmag Angler out, because I don't see my opponent having anything to address what we have on the board, including a Gurmag Angler. I think it's looking pretty grim. They're just gonna have to hope to ramp up and just get to where they need to be. Drop in bombs like Hornet Queen and things like that. They could be running Dismember. It's totally possible. Beast from Within, I think, is a card that also you'll see in some of these decks, not Devotion decks. Alright, so let's just go and shock ourselves. Now, Magic Online can allow you to do some misclicks if you're always tapping your mana first. If you guys notice that I do that differently. So, especially in control decks, I've noticed that by tapping my mana first, which is the habit that I formed, sometimes if you're doing F8, it'll skip with mana in your pool. Like, that's happened to me. But in decks like these, it doesn't typically happen. I also sometimes like to be in the habit of tapping my mana first, because then I can pump fake my opponent sometimes. So even when I have nothing but land in my hand, I can just tap mana down, and that can indicate to my opponent that I've actually got something. Alright, so Eternal Witness, I'm guessing their plan is to just do some chump blocking while also staying alive. I think we're just gonna... Opponent's gonna be taking 6 here, going down to 7. We are gonna Flameblade Adept and Goblin Lore. We want to get Flameblade Adept on the board because that can get us through those like last few points, because they're gonna be chump blocking. The opponent could choose to just take all the damage here, but that would put him down to 1, 2. Math is hard. Alright. Going all in here. Yep, and as I predicted, we got a chump block, and we are going to run out our Flameblade Adept just to get it on the board. So we're going to be pumping, but it's not going to be any good. Alright, well, I'm fairly confident this deck doesn't have a way to deal with all these, so I'm just going to run out the other Hollow one. Just shore up the fact that we'll be able to get lethal in this turn. Alright, opponent scoops it up. Okay. I don't think we really have a sideboard for these guys. I think we're kind of good just on our plan. We don't really need to disrupt them. Collective Brutality. It's probably still good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, for the most part, this is good. Let's run it back. Opponent thinking hard about their sideboard plan. This is one of the most common decks in the meta. Showing on MTG Goldfish, showing at the 5th spot, 4% of the total meta, but there's got to be a tick with how much has been reoccurring lately. And the sideboard plan's got to be something similar to Black Red Vengevine. That's the bridge from below decks. So I'm surprised how long my opponent's taken to think about their sideboard plan. Usually if I see the deck over and over, I'm kind of like ready for my sideboard. Oh, this is going to be my first Twitch stream video. I'm still trying to get everything sorted out. Hope I got the video name right. So this hand's a little not super exciting, but we are going to keep, because we can just kind of steamroll into a lot of damage here, and we can feed our graveyard and be ready to play out our Gurmags, our Tassiger, and our Hollow ones really quickly. But this is not like a perfect hand by any means. It's not bad though. It's very keepable. Alright, so opponent doesn't do anything turn 1. It's good with me. A slow start against our opponent is probably the best thing for us. So we're just going to go ahead and grab our Blood Crypt here, and we are running out our Flameblade Adept. We can go into Goblin Lore next turn. We could also go for Burning Inquiry and hope we drop something. That's an option too. We'll see what happens. I always want a Goblin Lore because our hand stays fed. So Sacro Tribal, that's a card that's not really gonna have a huge impact. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Goblin Lore here and set us up for big turns later. Okay. We do go ahead and put a Flamewake Phoenix in the graveyard. We also lose our other Goblin Lore, which is fine because we still do have Burning Inquiry, so we can kind of go for like a big hit next turn. Hope opponent doesn't try to block. Thank you. All right. A lot of people seem to have an issue with Menace. Yeah, I always cycle Street Wraith right away. I've seen people faithless looting away Street Wraiths when they have like full life. Like, so they drew the cards and then they realized for whatever reason they wanted those cards. And I am just absolutely against that. We're going to grab a mountain here, preserve some of our life total, and we're going to dump both of these Flamewake Phoenixes. We're going to have both in the graveyard. And as long as we don't get surgically extracted here, we should be looking at a big turn. So let's go to combat. Opponent can double block. I'm okay if he's doing that to actually trade, but I think most likely what he's going to do is block and then sack both, which is fine. I'm going to get 4 damage in the air, so I'm okay with that. I don't want to use a bolt on him to get 4 damage in now. No, so yeah, 4 over this. So I'd be getting 2 and 4, so 6 damage total this turn if I did it that way. Whereas I'm getting 4 damage in, but I'm still keeping my lightning bolt, which gives me a total of 7, right? So overall, I have more damage. Okay, all right. So opponent has caught me off guard. I did not expect him to do that to preserve his life total, but I am okay with that. But I am surprised. So we're gonna run out Gurmag first because we don't need more stuff in our graveyard, and then we're gonna see what happens. When we Burning Inquiry, and I think I want to Burning Inquiry now just in case I hit. No, well, no, yeah, I don't. I'll Burning Inquiry now just in case I hit Bloodghast into the graveyard. I can go land and Lightning Bolt and give him haste if we I don't know, get a crazy draw here. Yeah, nothing like that. Okay, so opponent lost a Primal Command. Yes. Alright, and I am going to run out Talon. Opponent easily could have brought in some artifact removal from sideboard. Yeah, there it is. And populate. Well, guess I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Worst cards my opponent could have here, so not too concerned about that. Okay, so opponent. This is not gonna get my opponent where he needs to be at all. I do not need 4 lands. I could probably get by on 2 easily. think I'm just going to go ahead and swing for 4 here. He's going to chump block here, and I think I'm just going to go face. I can't imagine this doesn't work out. As opposed to shooting Sakura, I don't know, being fogged or something. I can't imagine what my opponent does here at all. But I just want to get this in. Alright, so face. Good game. Alright, so Black Red Hollow One showing its superiority, at least to Mono Green Devotion. Let's see what we're up against next. This is going to be 2, so we are currently undefeated with 1 win. Okay. I have a nasty habit of always going F8 right out of the gate, so. Okay. So I might hold on to Street Wraith here. And just go Flame Blade Adept. So we're almost definitely up against Storm. And our best sideboard here is going to be Leyline and like Thoughtseize. Maybe we toss in Fatal Push if we're feeling real frisky. Just to keep them off there. Baral and Goblin, whatever. Yeah, we're just going to Mountain and Flame Blade here. Yep. Now on my turn, we're definitely going to want to Street Wraith first and then see what else we get. And I think we're probably going to expend some resources to Lightning Bolt that. Opponent knows that I'm on the race game, and is just running this out there to see what happens. Yes, please. May I have another? Bloodghast and get rid of Sackland. Run out Black Cliffs. Yeah, we can put it out. That's fine. And we're just gonna go with Lightning Bolt now and get in for 5 damage. That's pretty good. And next turn we can go even a little bit wider or a little bigger. Serum Visions here is pretty good because opponent is probably looking for some kind of answer right now, which tells me that they didn't. Their last Serum Visions probably didn't go amazingly. They put 2 cards on top of their library, so maybe one of those was Baral, and they thought he could live, and they were just going for the win, which is good for me. Good for me. Alright, so opponent went ahead and went Serum Visions into Sleight of Hand, putting 1 card on top, 1 card on the bottom with the Serum Visions. So, yeah, their hand could be anything. And that's kind of why I want to go ahead and Collective Brutality. Yeah. Discarding what? 1 card. Alright, so we're going to go Flame Blade Adept, and we're kind of just all in on the Flame Blade Adept clan. Yeah. And we can grab a swap here, that's fine. 2 modes. Discarding land. Alright, so that card doesn't mean anything to me. Sometimes they can use it on themselves. Not to worry about that. So opponent's going to go Brawl. We don't know what's on top of his deck. He doesn't either, actually, after sliding hand. So he's going to go Brawl, Mana. We just want to keep him off of Past and Flames. So I think Manamorphose is the best pick. Not because it's more mana, but because it also gives him access to more cards as well. And that could even just give him a mana when he does it. So it's effectively that, but more efficient. Let's go ahead and nab that. And so opponent is going to be on running out Brawl. We're looking to do 8 damage from just the Flame Blades this turn. If I don't get remanded, I guess that's kind of important. Oh, never mind. No, it's not. Opponent is going to want to remand this. I guarantee it. He's going to want to remand it because he's going to think I can't recast it. And I doubt he has anything else in his hand. He's kind of out of options. He was going to have to do that anyway. So, opponent's going to get to mulligan, or mull a card. He goes Grape Shot into the graveyard, and we're just going to go and play the card again. That'll do it. Alright, so game 1. It's always good to beat those non-interactive decks game 1. So, we're going to go ahead and just run out our ley lines. And I'm pretty tempted to also run out Thought Seizes, but I don't think I'm going to. Remand is really good here, so I am going to cut just like Gurmag. Maybe Flame Wake. Collective Brutality is just okay. It's good only because it can not only take out the Goblin, Static Cast. No, what's the name of that guy? Electromancer. So it's not only good to pick off Electromancer, but I can also use as a Thoughtseize. But I guess the question is Thoughtseize better? I am on the play, or on the draw, so. Yeah, so we're definitely bringing these in because that can buy us a lot more turns. Let's go and dump 1 Burning Inquiry, and I'd rather have Bloodghast over Flame Wake Phoenix. But I am just going to need creatures just to get the damage through. We can go down. We can go down to Collective Brutality here. Collective Brutality is really good, but I'm buying so much time with the ley lines that I think that we'll be all right. Okay, so this hand in and of itself is not amazing, but what it could be is really good. So we're gonna keep. I just having the pressure from Flame Adept is just it's always pretty good, especially in these kind of matchups. Where you might not be able to get in your 2 drops, and this is perfect actually for this situation. So we're gonna grab a Blood Crypt here, just for that versatility of mana base. And run out Flame Blade Adept and pass turn. Okay, Brawl. Chief of Compliance. Opponent's kind of on the same plan as last time. Let's go and see what we get with our Street Wraith. So we're in a predicament here, but we don't have options. So we're just going to go ahead and run out our Goblin Lore and hope we're not dead this turn, unfortunately. Alright, we need a turn. So we're doing all kinds of damage. It's kind of up to the opponent to pull off the win here. He's got his best piece. Hasn't missed a land drop. Sometimes in these cases, because they have so many cantrips, sometimes their hand's just full of cantrips. Piece of the Puzzle isn't good for me, but it's certainly not the worst card. So he actually finds another Pieces of the Puzzle, which he puts in the graveyard. So it keeps all the mana rampers. So, I mean, he's got mana. He can go Manamorphose and Pyretic, into Ritual, into thing. He's thinking. Alright, we're going up. We are ticking up. Opponent's got Manamorphose. What would be bad for us here would be Gifts Ungiven is less bad. It gives us kind of like at least a chance to kind of control what's going on, but Past in Flames is what we really are worried about. Opponent's probably going to grab Manamorphose, Ritual, Past in Flames. And I think that gives him enough to keep going. I think we have to grab Rituals though. Yep. So we'll just grab Ritual and Ritual. Because he's going to have enough for Past in Flames. He's got enough. Well, if he has enough, let's just take as many cards from him as we can. Opponent going off. Past in Flames. He's going to get to draw 2 cards for Manamorphose alone. Get all the blue he needs. Yeah, that's going to be game. Alright, we'll go to the next one. We consider mulliganing until we hit a ley line. I mean, that's an option. I'm going to go Thoughts easier. Let's try that. Alright, so Storm takes game 2. Let's see what we can do. This hand's terrible. It's got no interaction, turn 1. Oh no. I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep because I need 1 land, and there it is. So we are going to, on the turn, do nothing, but turn 2 could be really bad for our opponent. So. And Burning Inquiry is going to hit all those cards. They're going to go away forever. Opponent Serum Visions. We actually kind of are okay if he puts these on top or bottom because we're gonna hit 2 cards on the top. Yep. All right, we're gonna land, and we're hoping that we don't lose our hollow in here. That's kind of a big deal. And we keep it. All right, and we got a Bloodghast. Things are looking up. Another land would be great. I'll take Faith though, that's for sure. Alright, yeah, let's check out what our opponent's got. We just hit a bunch of cantrips, so nothing crazy. We don't have anything too awesome going on, but we're going to act like we've got nothing here and let our opponent play into this lightning bolt. This only backfires if he ramps to go to Gifts Ungiven, but I'm totally okay with hitting Gifts Ungiven here. Opponent goes Sleight of Hand. And Goblin Electromancer. Alright, sounds good. Let's just shoot Brawl in the face right now. Alright, so that's not good. We could be in a pickle. Gifts Ungiven is a lot less good for our opponent here. That's one of the biggest issues they'll run into with Leyline on the board. Because whatever cards they get, if they get win conditions, I can get rid of them permanently as long as Leyline's on the board. So a lot of times what you'll see is that they'll go Leyline, they'll grab win condition, bounce, like repeal, and then, I don't know, something else, Manamorphose, whatever. And so oftentimes, I guess they want their win condition, but they're at that point, they're like, Well, I guess you can take those and I'll at least get to bounce Leyline and not lose in the near future. But we really needed to hit a land that turn. There could be some arguments for lightning bolting the Electromancer because if he has a second brawl, it'd be a dead card in his hand as it's a legendary creature. All right, so opponent's doing something. I've seen in this situation, I've seen players ramp just to get rid of the threat on the board, just to survive. And it looks like we're all right. So I was thinking empty the warrens. All right, so that the opponent's probably like, okay, that's gonna buy us plenty of time. He got to draw a card from that, which isn't bad either. But we just need a land to get in this. That's not a land, but that actually might work pretty well. That is fine. Yep. Yep. So we'll just play all three of these and just see what happens. So I'm just gonna go cast, and I'm just gonna go cast, and I'm gonna go cast, and I'm gonna bring our Bloodghast back. Who's gonna have haste? And I'm gonna attack with our Phoenix, and we're doing just fine now. So, opponent's got a blocker. So I guess that's better. It was better to shoot this overall. I guess in this case it might not be better, but it actually can block Bloodghast. And the opponent scoops it up. Okay. All right. So we are currently 2-0. We took on Storm and Mono Green Devotion. All right. And it's getting a little late, so might take us some more time to get an opponent. And it's getting a little late, so might take us some more time to get an opponent. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so I mean, I'm a big fan of this type of hand. It can turn into something amazing really quickly. But sometimes, like, you just hit nothing here. But we've got a mana base. Thoughtseize here would make me sad if they grab Burning Inquiry, I guess. Otherwise, I don't really give a shit. I mean, give it a darn. I haven't really figured out rules and stuff for Twitch, so I don't know if I labeled this correctly to use language like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pass the turn as opponent grabs our Burning Inquiry, which is probably the correct pick. Okay, so opponent goes and cracks a Verdant Catacombs. If I was a betting man, this is going to be green-black mid-range. And that's a big old Goyf. And Goyf is pretty good. Yeah, I can't shoot him right now. We don't have any other instants in the graveyard, and that's going to get bigger. So, yeah, Goblin Lore is probably going to grow this Goyf, but we're not in a good position to sit here doing nothing, so let's do this deck does. Alright, so what sucks here is that this deck has a lot of some answers. They can Lily on the Veil and minus. They can Maelstrom Pulse. Whatever they do, if they put this in the graveyard, we're going to add a creature. Oh, there's already a creature, alright. So that sucks. We could use Gerbag. But they're going to add an artifact, and Goyf's going to get even bigger. So we lucked out. We lucked out, guys. Yeah. I want a Goblin Lore here. I do. There's not going to be anything to gain from it yet, so we're going to... There's a very low upside. So we're just going to go ahead and get in. Opponent... If opponent double blocks, we're about to get all the value, but I doubt he is. I think we're about to pay for this, because that's going to put an instant in the graveyard. We can trade, though, which is probably safe, because this Goyf is going to get more and more dangerous. And Scavenging Ooze is going to kill us. So, I think the thing to do is let this happen. Goyf should still die, because they should go to the graveyard at the same time. Awesome. Okay. And we'll just bolt Scavenging Ooze. I'm almost tempted just to go Flameblade Adept. Pass turn. Yeah, let's do that. See if they don't just Fatal Push here. But we should be alright. Not a punt, but not a an advantageous trade-off. Opponent passes turn, not hitting a land drop, it seems. We could actually just run this out. I highly doubt my opponent has nothing, but let's just go in Goblin Lore, because there's a good amount of upside to getting some of these in our graveyard here. And we didn't get any in our graveyard. Okay, happens. So we can, however, get just cast Bloodcast still, so it's not too much of a loss. I still don't expect this to make it. They even run Abrupt Decay. If this isn't Jund, yeah, Fatal Push, I'll do it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just run out Bloodcast. And Hollow One is going to cost 0 right now, so still doing what the deck does, and now Hollow One is protected from Liliana if the opponent doesn't just Fatal Push here. So, pretty good spot to be in. I mean, they can still have Dismembers and just ruin our lives, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Kind of going deep here, but I'm okay with that. If opponent removes Hollow One here, I'd be a little sad, but trying to get all the value, and it is Jund. Opponent's probably got all red. Lightning Bolts, Kolaghan's Commands are going to make things ugly for us. And I actually am not even going to play this land. He could Kolaghan's Command and take our land. I would be okay with that, but if he destroys that from anything, then I can just get it back. So opponent's in a pickle. This does not help too much that he's found his lands. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and run this out just to get the other Bloodcast back on the board. Or on the board. It wasn't on the board before. We're going to Goblin Lore to feed our graveyard. Hopefully we'll hit another Flamewake or something. The opponent has something here, I imagine, but you never know sometimes. Short. Alright, so yeah, we got Gurmag, but almost want to play him out just for Kolaghan's command, but we're getting like 6 damage in here. He can't pop this if he goes Kolaghan's command for my hand. Alright, so opponent does have the Kolaghan's command, and yeah, that's fine for us. Opponent kind of gets to stay alive. Does he hit this? Does he fail as one of these guys? Lightning Bolt to preserve his life total. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty okay with that. It's not ideal. I'd rather have gotten the damage through, but we can't do anything with mana, so we're just gonna go and tap out. And I can actually focus a certain type of card here, maybe. No, it's not gonna matter. Maybe. Oh yeah, he's got all the same stuff I have except for artifacts. I can take artifacts out. We'll do that. To make the next Tarmogoyf smaller. Sorry. Yeah, I can't imagine. Take creatures out, I guess, because we don't want too much ammo in here for. That's fine. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I mean, oh, I didn't even. That's fine. Okay. I didn't need to tap out, so. Wasting resources, but. Alright, Bloodbraid Elf, I suspected as much, and into a Tarmogoyf, here's the guy. So he's only gonna, he would be a 5/6 had I not targeted the artifacts. Yeah, that's seems good. Alright. And going to combat's gonna get us enough to get through. Opponents only got 2 blockers. 2 of these are getting through for 4 damage. It's not impossible they have Slaughter Pact, but if I was a betting man, they do not. And I am, because I play Magic the Gathering. This is all gambling. Alright, so there's some argument for Leyline. GG's. But I'm a fan of Blood Moon as well. I think we're going to Fatal Push over... Oh, man. We're going to Fatal Push over Collective Brutality here. No, we're going to keep both. We need as many creatures as possible, I feel like. But removal is still good. We're going to go ahead and pitch some Burning Inquiries. And go with this. We're planning on a little bit more of a grindy match. Because of the fact that the opponent is going to be able to kill any of these creatures. Jund's running Terminates. Jund is running Kolaghan's command. 3 of them main board in many cases, 2 or 3. And just rushing out one big creature like we did in the first match and hoping everything sticks is not going to be the case. So we don't want to cut any creatures. But we do want some additional removal because especially Dark Confidant can kind of get some card advantage, the much needed card advantage early in the game for the opponent, as well as Tarmogoyf can just outgrow us quickly enough that Lightning Bolt, as you see last game, Lightning Bolt became ineffective. So we're going to go Fatal Pushes to try to help us in those situations, giving us some additional early removal. As well as give us a chance to get past our Tarmogoyf. So we are currently 2-0. And this hand is awesome. I could see the opponent having Inquisition of Kozilek. And they're going to probably grab Burning Inquiry. But we can go Flameblade Adept. and just do this right into Hollow One. I could see my opponent also having like removal Thoughtseize next turn, and that would be probably their best possible draw. They grabbed exactly how I thought they would. I played Jund a little bit, so that makes sense. We are going to keep Bloodghast in hand, and like I said, we're going to run Flame Blade Adept out. We might get hit with removal, but that's okay. I guess the worst case scenario, if he doesn't have, like worst case scenario, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push. That can get rid of our Hollow One and prevent damage. Oh, well, opponent's kind of truth or daring me here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just feed the graveyard. We do have to spend mana just to get Hollow One in the graveyard here. We kind of want to keep Flame Wake in hand because we might have to hardcast it. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch our land. And I mean, if I was really greedy, I could keep going bigger. But I don't think it's going to be worth it. So we are going to get Bloodghast back. And I'm just going to go and attack here. So we are going to need the 1 mana to cast Hollow One because we were only able to discard 2 cards. So yeah. And I could see a Kolaghan's Command go an artifact creature here, which is a situation why we want to keep Flame Wake in hand. And when I say artifact, Kolaghan's Command can go destroy artifact, 2 damage to a creature. And we want to keep this in hand for that reason. But this, well, yeah, he shot the Bloodghast. So that's telling me right now that he's already got an answer for this guy. So Kolaghan's Command it is. There's the land. And if I was him, I'd wait till my opponent's turn to do that. But if you just got beat up pretty rough in a game, you might do it differently. I cannot say I expected the Hellspell Bomb. So let's make him use it. This might change things. If opponent goes ahead to get rid of Graveyard here and pays the mana, that tells me that Hollow One's probably clear to stay alive, which means that you're good to be in my graveyard. So I'm kind of tempted to do that. Yeah. So I will do Fatal's Looting. And man, I like these cards. This isn't as good without this, so it's kind of between this and this. Another Flame Blade is awesome because he's going to have removal, but he probably won't have any kind of board wipe. Burning Inquiry is good because it makes these guys good. You know we're going to have Fatal's Loot in the graveyard too? Yeah, let's get rid of Burning Inquiry. I want to go wide, a little wide, so I think that works out well. Alright. Flame Wake back. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, and as I said before, the opponent had some kind of answer for that. I anticipated that being Kolaghan's Command, but opponent decided to surprise me. It was not Kolaghan's Command. Huntmaster of the Fells is not bad here. I'm going to shoot him in the face, but that's not because he's bad. Yeah, I think just... Oh, actually, I want to... yeah, I don't have a way to get my 4. I'm just going to attack into this and see what happens. If the opponent wants a double block, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this with a Fatal Push. Just to keep my Lightning Bolt, because I really want to keep that to getting those final points of damage. Opponent playing it safe. 4, 5, 6. Opponent's taking 6 damage. I did not anticipate this block. I thought opponent would be way more concerned with how much damage they're taking. but that kind of makes me think even more that he's got Kolaghan's Command. I'm going to shoot you in the face. I could have gotten an extra point. No. I mean, I guess this is good. Opponent can't sack any lands. I'll come at him sideways with this Lightning Bolt. And I just need Flame Wake. Kolaghan's Command will absolutely keep my opponent alive here. And if I was him, I might even Kolaghan's Command, destroy our shoot creature, bring a thing back. Opponent has tapped out. That is not what he needed to do. But luckily for me, it looks like I'll be able to pull this through. Alright. We'll just go ahead and let the always attack trigger. And go ahead and finish this off with the Lightning Bolt. So good game. Awesome. Okay, so alright, we are currently 3-0. And let's take it to round 4. Okay. And we are standing by for a match to begin. Alright, now we are in our 4th round undefeated with Black Red Hollow One. This is the older version, not the Bridge from Below that's sweeping the meta. This is the good old-fashioned Black Red Hollow One, which, although still takes some chances, is a little more consistent. Now, on our hand, we've got nothing that kind of is getting us to where we need to be, but Goblin Lore will help get there. I'm actually going to go ahead and just take the time to shoot this in the face. And we're going to want to do that now, because this is a wizard, and this deck is blue-red aggro wizards. And they have the counterspell for 2 if they control a wizard, as well as burn spells they can only cast efficiently with a wizard. Opponent also will often have counter spells like Remand. I think I want to just go ahead and Burning Inquiry, just see what my opponent does. Okay, opponent lets it happen. I'm going to go ahead and shock myself. And we'll Faithless Looting. Now, opponent might have waited to counter whatever we would get. I'm okay if he counters Faithless Looting. And opponent is not even pretending like he's going to counter anything. We're going to go and pitch our Goblin Lore here. Because we're going to go with our removal and Gurmag. And just hope that that is enough to carry the game. We actually get a Snapcaster, Mage, and a Wizard's Lightning from our opponent's hand, which I'm okay with. We do hit 1 land, but we got 2 pretty good cards. Oh, these 2 combo together too. Yep. Okay, so 9 cards in the graveyard. I think we want to try to go Tasker here, and the reason why is because I think that this might get remanded, and we can actually recast a Tasker, but we cannot recast a Gurmag. Yeah, opponent's just letting us do what we want here. I don't know what is going on in my opponent's hand. Vendelian Clique is totally fine. That's also cool too. I'm going to shoot it now because it makes once more makes his spells cost less. And that's exactly where my opponent wants to be, is is getting some damage in that I can't stop and casting his spells for cheaper. Alright, let's go ahead and get a Blood Crypt tapped. We're going to go and get in for 4 here, and I think we're just going to try and cast Gurmag Angler. Does this deck run Cryptic Command? Is the question we need to ask ourselves. Opponent is going to cast Snapcaster Mage, targeting Wizard Lightning. If he just wants to trade these two, I'm okay with that, because I'm going to go bigger this turn. Opponent does block. And opponent does want to trade. Yep. Pretty cool with that. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I was playing Tasker in green-black mid-range the other day. And this card, and it's one of. They don't even run Gurmag. And this card gets much better when you can late game use his ability, which this deck is completely incapable of doing. So it's just an interesting thought, especially with that new removal spell coming out in the Return to Ravnica, the Abrupt Decay that destroys anything and gives a land like Path to Exile. Pretty good. Alright, opponent takes it. We're just going to Faithless Looting here. Opponent wants to counter this. Super okay with that. Another Gurmag. We don't really want this Gurmag. I mean, overall, I do. But we definitely need to keep Collective Brutality. We're going to do it like this. Keep our life total a little higher. We are going to run out Hollow One. I've been anticipating a counterspell for a hot minute now, so you do you, opponent. Looks like opponent's gonna draw discard. Yep. And that's pretty good for us. It's pretty good for us. Opponent's probably land flooded, apparently. This deck does not, I don't even think they run like Cryptic Commands. They really don't have a way to interact with these big creatures that isn't like a 2-for-1 for them. Opponent hasn't played any counter spells. Do I want to pitch this? I'm just gonna shoot this because I can see a block and a lightning bolt, which isn't efficient for my opponent, but I just want to get this damage in and put my opponent in a dark place. Dark place. We are swinging for 9. Opponent takes all of it to the dome. I'm gonna run out this Flameblade Adept, and good luck, opponent. Opponent's gonna go ahead and mulk another card. And it's another land. So as I was saying, this is indicative of some mana flooding. Delver of Secrets is not where my opponent needs to be, and my opponent scoops it up. Alright, so, I mean, I want to go Ley Lines. I do. I've actually had Blood Moon work really well against this deck, but that's not the greatest idea. Collective Brutality and Lightning Bolt hit all of their marks, but Snapcaster Mage and Grim Lawrence are legitimate cards these decks want to run against us. The only problem is, by running these, we're slowing the deck down, and they want to be faster than us. We're going to do this, and we're going to actually pitch our Street Wraiths on the draw. Shocking ourselves for a little advantage is just not where we want to be. Opponent does run remands, so getting down fast is still pretty important. But I think that we can sacrifice just a fraction of speed at the cost of maybe just wrap the opponent up. Unfortunately, we do not hit our ley line, but we do have a good opening hand. So let's see what happens. Okay, hopefully we're going turn 1 Hollowin. Let's see what happens. We are going turn 1 Hollowin. And we still have our Gurmag, but we might run into a land issue. But I think that Faithless Looting is going to keep us afloat. An opponent already on the defense. Faithless Looting. Get us there. Marduk is heavily considering countering this. Last game is all I wanted. This game is the opposite of what I want. He's going to lightning bolt us now. Why would our opponent do that? I don't know, but opponent did exactly what he needed to do because we are hurting. Oh, man. We're going to pitch our Goblin Lore. Oh, that feels bad. That feels wrong. We're going to pitch our Tassiger. Ugh. Just getting us. Now we got a useless one. Oh, man. This could be the legendary Dominaria Wizard. You call it a Wizard Lord. Opponent is still on the defense. We are still just not hitting what we need to hit. Wow. Wow. This is insane. And I mean, that's what happens with these kind of decks, you know. Every game can be like you're taking a chance. Is this Datacaster going to do it? Now, does this, if a source you control deal non-combat damage, yep, this can just go negatives all day long. We are in a pickle. That's not bad. We're going to go ahead and pass, and then try to lightning bolt on my opponent's turn. Especially if the opponent wants to go ahead and draw a card here. Pull it ops. And puts a card on the bottom. Okay. An unanswered Goblin Lore would 100% get us back in this, but let's see what happens. Stroke in the graveyard. All right. All right. The next turn, opponent is holding on to his counterspells if he has them. An opponent sitting on his Disdainful Stroke could be Snapcaster into that. Alright, we have our land. And now we go and try to just bait out some shiny, something bad for my opponent. Now, and we're going 2 modes. They're definitely going to want to respond to this. Do I? Let's just go and do 1 mode, because we can discard this with something else later. I'm almost positive they're going to respond to this. Okay. Someone draws a card, puts it on bottom and draws. Tipping red mana. Sure. Oh, okay. So opponent will be sitting on Disdainful Stroke with a Snapcaster, but he actually does not have counterspells in hand. So, yep. I mean, this is the time for Goblin Lore if ever there was a time. Okay. All right. Here we go. See what we lose and manage to hold on to. Oh, that is not good. That's not good. Oh no. Well, we're gonna run into this anyways. No reason to hold on to it. Let's open the floodgates for hand in the future. And opponent is going to disdainful stroke. And we are by no means out of this. But we are not doing stellar. Yeah, we were hoping to at least come out with one of those still in hand. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I would even attack with this probably. Snapcaster and do a 1-drop, I would have done that. Yeah. We are going to Goblin Lore. And Gurmag is nothing I'm upset about here. Opponent does not have any more disdainful stroke or graveyard. We do have to take damage to do this though, which is pretty terrible for us. Alright. Opponent can still kind of weaken our Gurmag here with Snapcaster Bolt, putting him down as a 2/2, which is fine because he's still going to be able to stop some of this damage unless my opponent's just going straight to my face. And that's game. Because we won't have, he's going to have 3 attackers and he's going to do more damage. So Leyline's still looking really good, but I'm going to be less dependent on it on the play. And in fact, actually, let's go ahead and put some Streetways back in. We're just going to hope to, if we hit Leyline, our opening hand, we hit it, that's fine. But if not, our hand is still very active. It's got drop removal, but I'm kind of willing to see if he's got anything for this. Sure is. All right, so Goblin Lore. We're gonna Burning Inquiry, and we do lose our Tassiger, which is unfortunate. We do hit opponent's Grim Lavamancer and an Opt. Oh, missed out on some points of damage there. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent does nothing on their second turn. Okay, opponent. And I'm actually going to try to use this opportunity to get Leyline on the board. If opponent does anything. Alright, let's just take a look at opponent's hand. Alright. So this card is going to hit Blood Gas, but it's going to die immediately. So I'm really surprised actually he didn't play that out here. But I guess he was more worried about bigger creatures coming down. Pretty tempted to grab a Disdainful Stroke, but at the end of the day, this is never not going to hit a target. So, yeah, I mean, these don't matter right now. The opponent's pretty far down in their cards, so, you know, let's do this. And, we'll pass through. We'll save Faithless Looting for next turn. Opponent cracks a land. And this is perfect. We want the opponent to take damage to play a card that is effectively dead as it hits the board. And that's exactly what it is. Opponent's going to ping, but it does nothing. And just to be sure it does nothing, we're actually going to go ahead and crack this now. And the reason why is because if my opponent happens to have Surgical Extraction and then top decks that and then hits that, that would be pretty upsetting. Alright, so at this point, we're just going to go ahead and get in. And pretty tempted to run out our ley line here. No. Faithless Looting. And here is where our opponent's card does its work. Yep. And we will run out. Gurmag Angler. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent can shoot this twice before I get a Flamewake Phoenix on board, which I'm okay with. We're just going to keep going across with Bloodghast. Opponent is going to do that. They're going to go ahead and just use Grim Lavamancer and Wizard Lightning, which is isn't terrible for my opponent. It could be worse for sure. So let's see what we get with our Faithless Looting. And we will keep... I mean, this is dead, so yeah, we'll keep Goblin Lore, which we won't be playing this turn. Opponent gonna be down to 5. We are going to attack here. Only because I'm positive we're going to get some interaction with our Bloodghast. And we do. And we double do. And once more, we will run them out. And I'm okay with just Goblin Loring and get into a new card. Okay. And another Bloodghast. Opponent's digging. He could be hoping for a second, is it Static Caster? And just hoping I don't have removal, which it wouldn't be bad. Opponent could definitely manage to stave off imminent death that way. Okay, and we actually don't need to trigger this yet, but we will. Well, no, we won't. Hmm. Okay. So we're just gonna run the land out. And go attacking. We're actually even safe from surgical extraction here. We're not safe from, I guess, surgical snap extract surgical, but if the opponent wants to take 4 damage at this point in the game, I'd be pretty okay with that. Snapcaster into Wizard's Lightning. Block Grim Lavamancer. That would wipe the board and keep my opponent afloat. You float too. Alright, opponent's gonna opt. Opponent says, this is a pretty bad situation to be in, and I'd rather dig for cards than wipe away a board that's gonna keep popping back up. And opponent's almost definitely shooting the other Bloodghast here. I would opt first, but I suppose it doesn't really change anything. Alright, and we'll go ahead and run out our Flame Blade Adept and pass the turn. In fact, yeah, we'll wait till he casts, and we'll get our Bloodghast back on board. Opponent could also hope that I'm just going to run out of lands, which is a real possibility in this deck. That's a real possibility. I think yeah, we're good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our Bloodghast back on board. What could opponent do here? An Ensnaring Bridge would mind-bogglingly stop us in our tracks, but we have Faithless Lootings to kind of dig. Delver Secrets isn't going to cut it. What do you got, opponent? A land. A Lightning Bolt. Okay. Opponent doesn't die this turn. I lied. Opponent might die this turn. You know what? Yeah, we don't want to do that. So we go 3. Faithless Looting. We're just going to discard the cards. Doesn't matter. Don't want it to land. Ooh, we want Gervac over. Could we win here with Collective Brutality? We could. We could win here, but I'd rather take the more consistent way. Gonna need a black mana, because Gurmag is a black creature. Alright, opponent scoops it up. Alright, so 4-0. Rocking the black-red hollow one. Alright. So we have beat Mono Green Devotion. We beat Green Black Mid-Range. Nope, it was Jund. It was definitely Jund. We beat Storm, and we just beat Red Blue Wizards, or Wizards Aggro. Probably Red Blue Wizards. Better term. And yeah, it was I think it was pretty clear cut. I mean, we kind of rolled over Mono Green Devotion, Jund had some mana issues, but at some points it was looking a little. We had some good draws. We had some good draws, and we did lose a round. Against Storm, did we go Storm to round 2? Pretty sure Storm beat us. So round 2 we played Storm. So no, Jund. I got Jund never beat us. All right, Storm did. Storm beat us turn 2 or round 2. Absolute solid hand. They went Brawl right into just all of their cards. All right, so this is our last game in our league, undefeated in a friendly modern for black, red, hollow one. Opponent is on the play, and this is going to be our 5th match. Let's see if we can get all the friendly treasure chests. Friendly league. It's not going to be as many as the competitive one. And we are up against the mirror match. Seems very reasonable because this deck is very popular in the competitive scene right now. I don't know how I feel about the mirror match. However, these decks typically always run a engineered explosives in the sideboard, and we have ley lines. So our sideboard might actually be better than our opponent's. But the opponent has a good start. Not that ours is bad. But let's see if we can kind of go off here. The answer is no. We cannot go off here. But we at least get a hollow one. And man, we are one faithless looting away. If our opponent burning inquiries, we could be in a really good spot. But we need to draw something otherwise. Opponent on the foil, Flame Wake, and Hollow One plan. But the non-foil Blood Gas. Gotta be consistent. And opponent getting in. Now, I'm going to block here because at the end of the day, opponent is a little faster than us, so we've got to worry about preserving life too, just a little bit. And we don't even have the Flame Wake in the graveyard, or a way to get him in the graveyard. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. We can run out of Tassiger, and this might be what keeps us in this game right now. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, did my math right. And that's why we run Tassiger in these decks. Tassiger can always just change the dynamic. Just delving one less card for a card that's only 1 less power. And as I was saying earlier, in green-black mid-range, and I've played that, he gets really good. You run 1 of in that deck, and you can actually use his ability, which in a late game, in a standoff, that gets really good really fast. So Flame Wake and Blood Gas. Now, the opponent could be pump faking me here, but I do not want to just lose this Tassiger to a card he's going to get back plus Lightning Bolt. And we have nothing else going on if he takes out this Tassiger. We've got to take it. We've got to take it and go down to 9. And we can't afford to be going down to 9 right now. So we're going to take this. We're going to take this. We're going to take it because Tassiger is our best chance at turning the odds back around into an aggressive match against my opponent. Now that is going to be the worst mistake I could possibly make if my opponent drops a Gurmag Angler on me right now. Alright, what do you got, opponent? And this match might have just came down to who was on the play. And that's another Tassiger. The mana untapped. We are not getting what we need. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play a blocking Flame Wake. And the way we do that is by just skipping past our combat phase. so that it does not have the chance to attack every turn because it's so combat crazy. And we just missed all 12 of our 14 of our cards that can get these guys in the graveyard. Oh man. Oh man. Alright, so let's go ahead and assign our blocks. And I'd much rather get Lightning Bolted stopping this. But he's going to get us down to 6, and he hasn't been super active with his hand, so I could see Bolt. Absolutely. But as I suspected, he had Bolt in hand. So it looks like for the most part we played right, but we are not we are not out of harm's way. In fact, it looks like that's game. So we can get Gurmag down, taking 2 damage, going down to 4, but we're tapped out. So, all right, opponent takes the first game. Good game, opponent. And he actually brought in the foil tasker too, just to make sure we knew he's about that foil life. All right. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and run out these 4 ley lines, and like I said, the odds are is my opponent is not running these. So there's a really solid chance that we're going to be able to get ahead because of that. Now, because we're on the play, I'm actually down to take out Lightning Bolts, which is the best card for our against their Flame Blade Adepts. And the reason why we're going to do that is because, and as well as Collective Brutality. And the reason why we're doing that is because on the play, we're hoping to not only hinder them this way, but we're also hoping to just outpace them anyway. So Lightning Bolt actually slows down our overall movement, and so we're just hoping to just kind of stay in the lead, and that our opponent needs Lightning Bolts, and we don't. Not to mention they're super inefficient against a lot of the cards my opponents are playing. So this hand, I want to mulligan this hand. And in fact, I'm going to, because we've got nothing going on but a turn 1 Flame Blade. So, all right, here we go. No ley line. We are going to keep because the hand is very playable. We do not need an additional land. And we're actually going to go on Faithless Looting right away and quit the game. Opponent has the card. And we are in a pickle. Oh no. Oh no. And that's probably going to end our spree here. Our undefeated 4-0, losing to the mirror match. So at the end of the day, we wanted to find out with how common the red-black hollow one deck has been of late, how often it's been showing up over and over, placing. We wanted to find out how good it fares, and right now it is faring very well. As it's only losing to itself as far as this league is concerned. Now, we didn't see Tron, and we didn't see humans. So, we are going to want to do a more calculated discard using Faithless Looting. Gurmag is a complete dead card. I do not see us getting out of this. Opponent can kind of just sit back and watch us wallow, because we are burning through our hand with nothing to show for it. This is going to be our exile zone. Yep. Now, I was playing yesterday. I was playing Naya. I don't want to call it Naya Land Destruction. It runs Blood Moon. It's like the Land Destruction deck, but not Blood Moon, and it's got like explosive engineering or whatever. Let me show you the deck. This is the deck list I just pulled off online. And there was a match I was playing. I just knew I was going to lose. It's running Madcap Experiment, my bad, and running into Platinum Imperium, and it's just ramping kind of into this aggro-y version of like red-green Stompy, or not Stompy, but you know, the land destruction version that runs creatures and stuff instead. And there was a match. I was like, I lost this. Like, I literally scrolled over the concede, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know, although I can't see how I can win, I haven't actually seen something that's going to make me lose. And I just stayed in the game, and I pulled it through. Did terrible in the league. Don't play, don't play that deck. But it goes to show you, though, and I see a lot of better players too that will play even when I'm frustrated to watch because of how bad the situation looks. So, do I think I can win this? No. But opponent hasn't done anything to beat us. They've played one card that turns us off a little bit, but overall, opponent's got nothing going on. I'm expecting like lightning bolt. Probably just rage quit. Oh no. Okay, opponent with the Tassiger. Can we go bigger than a Tassiger? But we can get past a Tassiger. And we're at the same life, so let's just draw Goblin Lore every turn and call it a day. I'm keeping this. This is how we win this game. If I win this game. Alright. We do not need Tasker. And in fact, there might have been an argument to keep that card for that very reason. But I'm more worried that the opponent has some. So we're just going to get in for what we can now. Opponent's going to hit us for just as much as we hit them without playing tricks. Opponent runs out of Goblin Lore. And actually, did we see... Oh, this is my opponent's exile zone. Playing Tasker. So he actually lost these cards from Goblin Lore. He actually lost 2 of the cards that I would fear the most in this situation. 3 of them. Looks like. Did he play Lightning Bolt? Opponent's going to come at me hard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So opponent's going to be hitting me for 8. I can win this turn. If opponent attacks with everything, which he shouldn't. Honestly, even if he doesn't, if I can hit Faithless Looting into Goblin Lore or Burning Inquiry, I think that'll do it. Math. Yeah, no, that's probably going to set us over because we would need to get 8 damage out of one of these guys, which is a lot of cards, and we do not have a way to get there. That's going to do it. I know we're not dead, but this is beyond a comeback at this point. So that's going to do it, and opponent doesn't like to talk, but good match. And he's going to take it. And we will stick with our less than stellar 4 Treasure Chests. No, yeah, 4 Treasure Chests for 4 wins out of 5. And we got the newer Johnny. I don't think he's worth anything particular. This is from the new dual play with your friends set. I don't know if it's worth anything in particular. Yeah, it looks like that's about it. And I always make sure I check these cards at the bottom because every now and again you get like a weird, like old uncommon. It's actually worth some money. But we can look at Bramble Sovereign, but I think for the most part it's a bust. This being our best take here. And we want to check Bramble Sovereign and see how she's faring right now. Battle Bond, and she is worth pennies. So, alright, good game, and that's going to be all. Thanks for watching.